Hello and welcome to the Total Entertainment Podcast with me, Paul Collis. Today I'm back down at the Motorpoint Arena and we will be going over McFly. Now, if you don't know who McFly is, where have you been? Everyone knows who McFly is. But if not, I'll give a bit of background on him. So McFly are an English pop band formed in London in 2003. The band took their name from the Back to the Future character Marty McFly. McFly, hello, butthead. Anyways, I digress. The band consists of Tom Fletcher on lead vocals and guitar and piano, Danny Jones lead vocals, harmonica and guitar, Dougie Pontier bass guitar, vocals, and Harry Judd on drums. They are signed to Island Records from their 2004 launch until December 2007 before creating their own label, Super Records. McFly rose to fame after fellow band Busted, with whom they later formed McBusted, helped launch them by inviting them to tour in 2004. In 2005 they won the Brit Awards for Best British Pop Act. McFly's debut album, Room on the Third Floor, debuted at number 1 in the UK album chart and is certified as double platinum. Wow, that is a lot. This led them to becoming known as the youngest band ever to have an album debuted at number 1, a title taken from the Beatles. A month after the album was released, the band had their first UK headlining tour. The band's second album, Wonderland, which was released in 2005, also charted at number 1 in the UK, making it the youngest band to have topped the UK album chart twice. The third album, Motion in the Ocean, was released on the 6th of November in 2006 and charted at number 6 in the UK. McFly released their all-time greatest hits compilation album in November 2007, which charted at number 4 in the UK. The band's fourth studio album, Radioactive, was given away for free as a supplement in the mail on Sunday on the 20th of July 2008, before being released in the conventional manner via physical release on 2nd September 2008. Their fifth album, Above the Noise, was released in November 2010 and charted at number 20. As of 2016, McFly have had 18 consecutive UK top 20 singles, 7 of which reached number 1 in the UK singles chart, and 7 of which were consecutive top 10 singles. According to the British phonographic industry, McFly has been certified for 2 million albums and 1.8 million singles in the UK alone, and more than 10 million records worldwide. That is a phenomenal amount. In 2006, McFly appeared as themselves in the film Just My Luck, starring Lindsay Lohan and Chris Pine. They released a US album, Just My Luck, which was also used as the film's soundtrack. They have also performed at various charity projects such as Comic Relief, Children in Need, Live 8, Sports Relief and Earth Hour. In November 2013, it was announced that McFly would be joining forces with Busted to form the supergroup McBusted. They played a 34-date tour with both Busted and McFly songs. The only member of the original group not to participate in the new lineup was former Busted singer Charlie Simpson. After Simpson's return to Busted in November 2015, McFly made a return and sold out their anthology tour in September 2016. After that, the band took an indefinite hiatus, with their Twitter account confirming that the boys were focusing on solo projects in 2018. In 2019, Pointer confirmed via a podcast that the band will be reforming that year with a new album and tour. In September, the band announced a new album of previously unreleased material and a concert in the O2 Arena in November 2019, followed by a 2020 comeback arena tour, which got postponed until now because of the old corona. Wow. So, their studio albums, Room on the Third Floor was 2004. Wonderland 2005, Motion in the Ocean 2006, Radioactive 2008, Above the Noise 2010, Young Dumb Thrills in 2020. They've got a good selection of albums, and I just can't believe the stats of their album sales. That's insane. Well, moving on, let's see what dates they've got. So you got today at the Motorpoint Arena, which is Thursday the 16th of September. Then On Saturday the 18th of September, they're at the SSE Arena in Wembley, London. Then Sunday the 19th of September, they are at Results World Arena in Birmingham. Then on Tuesday the 21st of September, they're at the Utility Arena in Newcastle, formerly known as the Metro Radio Arena. Wednesday the 22nd of September, they're at the First Direct Arena in Leeds. Thursday the 23rd of September, they're at the AO Arena, formerly the Manchester Arena. Sunday the 26th of September, they're at the SSE Hydro in Glasgow. And on Tuesday the 28th of September, they're at the M&S Bank Arena, formerly known as the Echo Arena in Liverpool. Wednesday the 29th of September, they're at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham, not Cardiff, which used to be the Capital FM Arena. And then on Sunday the 21st of November, they're at the O2 in London. Now that's a nice selection of venues there. There are tickets going for each of the shows at the time of this recording. Now we've had a bit of background and we know where they're going to be. Let's see what the crowd are saying as they go into the arena. Hello, I'm down at the Motorpoint Arena having a look at McFly. So today, what do I see outside the Motorpoint Arena? We have 3 trucks outside. 3 tour buses, double-decker tour buses. And in the compound you've got another 6 trucks and another tour bus. That's a big show. So a 9 truck show and 4 tour buses, double decker. And this is the largest show I've been near, well, since before the pandemic, so nearly 2 years. I'm looking forward to seeing exactly what it's like on the inside, how big their stage is, if they've got a specialist stage, or even if they've cut back. Well, I don't think they've cut back. If it's a 9 truck show, there's definitely no cut back on it. They've thrown money at it, and that I can tell you before I've even seen it. So I'm currently looking at the stage in the arena at the moment. It's half built, but it's looking pretty impressive for a stage at the moment. Now I've seen this setup before with McFly, and they love this setup, and they have it every time as far as I'm aware. So that is the house stage that's built where it normally is, and they got this massive half circle that comes away from the stage and has a nice little fun zone for the higher tiered ticket holders. So you've got 3 tiers of tickets in today's event. You have the early doors, so people get to come in and get to the front early. Then you've got the soundcheck party, which is the people that are allowed inside this ring. So that's good. They got that back, and I guess that proves really popular for them, as they always have this setup. Also, in today's event, they have a B stage as well. Well, technically it's a C stage, because I would call the walkway the B stage. But no, on paper it is the B stage, and that's right by the mixer at the other side of the arena. It's a small stage with a nice little small lighting rig just next to the mixer. I say next to it, it's right in front of the mixer, which is still half built. But that stage is set up, and that will be surrounded by Mojo. Now, if you don't know what Mojo is, it's the crush barriers that are so heavy no one can get through unless you jump over, and then you're gonna have security just grab you by the neck and choke slam you and slam you down. No, they don't do that, not anymore. Maybe in the 80s and 90s, but not in the 2020s. That would not be allowed to happen. They'll just pick you up nicely and say, "Oi, out you go," and if you protest, they will then eject you from the venue. But this stage is looking pretty impressive. They've got this giant pink teddy bear that they're building at the moment, and he is sat right at the back of the stage centre. So in theatre terms, upstage centre. They've got video screens either side of the stage. Right at the very back of the stage, you've got 2 video screens which are now set at height. The stage left screen is currently not working, but that's because they're constructing stuff around it, so that'll get switched on when it's ready. And stage left is ready to go. So when I say stage left and stage right, it's from the perspective of looking out from the stage. So if you didn't know this, if you're looking at a gig from the arena floor and you're looking at the stage, your left is their right, and that is known as stage right. Your right is known as stage left. Only people that's been in live entertainment would know that. Now you guys that are listening that are not in entertainment would know that. So you learn something new every day, I guess. Currently you can probably hear that beeping and that motor noise. That's the main picker going to the other side of the arena towards the dock door. So it's probably going to rig the last little bit, and then they're going to get rid of it. We'll be back after this. If you're a band member or an artist, dancer, singer, actor, street performer, and you're listening to this and you'd like to talk to us on our show about your latest gig or your album release on digital media, or even want to talk to us about a student show, how about dropping us an email on musterxmedia1983@gmail.com and we'll get you on our show. And we're back. So at the moment the stage is near enough complete. The circular walkway is all installed, just waiting for them to drape it up, and there are a shed load of pyro. I say pyro, it's confetti cannons, lots of CO2 powered confetti cannons. There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 8 of those on the circular part of the stage. That'll be a lot of fun for those poor cleaners to clean it later on, because there is another show tomorrow. That's Elbow. So if you're an Elbow fan, or even you're just curious, come and listen to that one and see what stuff you can learn. Anyways, let's get back to McFly, and their stage is pretty much all set up. At the moment they're just putting in the drum kit. All the hanging and stacked cases for aesthetics, they're all up, and that pink teddy bear, that very garishly bright pink teddy bear, is all up, standing with his arms and legs and looking all proud and tall. Well, he's taller than the lighting rig in certain parts of it, because the Motorpoint Arena is actually quite a small arena. On other stages the lighting rig would be taller than the bear, but this one, it's just one of those things you have to go with, because that's just the height of the roof. You can't go higher than that really. And they got a bit lucky because it only just about fits in. You've only got like 2 meters of clearance between the bear and the furthest back high bar, which then goes straight onto the walkway above. So not much space in there, and they just about got away with it. It does look a bit squashing on the stage at the Motorpoint Arena, but it's still fun, it's still visual, and it will not really lose too much impact. If you compare the Motorpoint Arena to other arenas, you would actually see a stark difference because of the different heights, so it'll have more of an effect. But still, even though it's a bit squashed down, it'll have an amazing effect in the Motorpoint Arena. This podcast contains themes that are unsuitable for younger listeners, and parental guidance is advised. It's been 30 years since they came. 30 years? No! They took my child! 30 years? I'm gonna kill you. No! It's been 30 years since they came. Every Friday. The links are in the description. And we're back. So currently the build is near enough complete. They just got to put the pit barriers in, the Mojo, which is a particular make of the pit barrier. They have to put the pit barriers in on both the A and B stage. They've just done a systems check on the automation, so they're using a kinesis system which gives part of their lighting rig the ability to move up and down and pan and tilt. And also the screens on stage, they track stage left to stage right to act as a doorway to block the teddy bear, which also comes out on the automation system.
A few moments later.
And we're back. Now the stage is all set ready to go, and they've just let the first bunch of fans in. because they paid a special premium to be able to get into the fun zone within this circle, and they paid for the privilege to be able to see the sound check. Now I'm not allowed to play any of the sound check because they are playing live, so as you can tell the band's starting up, and we'll be back after this. Warning, this podcast contains strong, offensive and misogynistic language that some listeners may find offensive. The name's Vert, Percival Reginald Vert, and I run the P.I Act detective agency. The year is 2055 and the police have been defunded, so if you need a police investigation, the cops will charge you 1,000 big ones a day. Because of this, the government introduced the P.I Act, where the private investigators can undercut the police so justice can become affordable. These are my case files. New episodes every Wednesday. The links are in the description. And we're back. So now we've got everyone's sound checked. We've got McFly completely sound checked and their support band Chinchilla sound checked, ready to go. So yeah, I don't know anything about Chinchilla. Now, I heard a little bit of their sound check and they did sound pretty okay. So I need to find out a little bit more about Chinchilla, but other than that, it sounded okay. Now we've just about opened up the doors for the early ticket holders for the Golden Circle Fun Zone as well as early sit-ins. And wow, there was such a crush of people running as fast as they physically could so they could take their positions up against the crush barriers in both the fun zone of the Golden Circle as well as the general front stage area. I've not seen that in a very long time, not since well before COVID. But it just does seem like we're heading back towards normality, and I like it, I really do.
A few moments later.
Chinchillas have a small proportion of the stage. They've got 2.5 meters depth, but they've got the whole length of the stage. And there is a nice black silky kabuki up, which is reacting lovely with the lights that they've been given. And that's the crowd being loud and thanking them. So the crowd could be a lot more louder, but they're not bad. I have to say, Chinchilla are not too bad, but they're not the most amazing. Definitely good for a support band.
A few moments later.
After Chinchilla's set was finished, they had a okay applause at the end. It could have been so much better with the amount of people that was in the audience, and I mean, we're talking at the moment, at this precise moment, close to 5,000, maybe approaching the 6,000 person mark. They didn't get the applause I would have expected from that volume of people, but that's just how it is, unfortunately. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And from the show perspective, they ended up using their own floodlights to light the house and stay completely independent from the house systems, which sometimes people like to do. Other people just want the house systems because it has a nice distinction between the two parts of the show. The crowd is totally buzzing with activity at the moment. They're loving this atmosphere, even though the warm-up set wasn't the best of atmospheres, but there is definitely an atmosphere on this dance floor. There's currently 500 people allowance in the Golden Circle, and there are a few spaces in there. That's fine. And the main part of the crowd, oh my god, that's just a massive sea of people. You can't see any space on the floor, which is a good thing. It's been a long time since I've seen a crowd like this.
A few moments later.
And we're back. Wow, what a show that was. I have to say, I'm not a fan of McFly, but you have to hand it to them. They were excellent showmen. The reason why I don't like McFly is they're just not my style of music. That's it. There's nothing wrong with how they play. They play really goddamn well, and the energy that they were feeding the audience was phenomenal. So the show starts off with a nice bit of VT, and the VT is of a pink bear who's activating a few systems and whatnot, and then he accidentally hits YMCA, hits the stop button, presses another button and starts the show. Interesting. It looked good, and yeah, it was relatively funny, I suppose. I actually enjoyed that bit of ET. And the show started off with pyrotechnics, started off really loud and proud, and the best thing is everyone enjoyed it. Absolutely everyone. As soon as McFly started, the house was near enough full, and the crowd, wow, what can I say about the crowd? It was jam-packed. I mean, absolutely jammed. The first time since before the age of COVID, the arena was absolutely heaving with people, and I enjoyed it. I really did enjoy the fact that people had come back. There wasn't much dropout. Out of 6,500 tickets sold, there's something ridiculous like 50 dropouts. People have their reasons to drop out, and I'm not really going to go into it, but the reasons are the reasons. Throughout the entire performance, McFly held their energy, and it felt to me that the band were feeding off the energy that the crowd was feeding them with. There was just a big symbiotic relationship between McFly and the crowd, and they all fed off of each other, and it worked. It really did work well. As I was walking through the crowd at one point during the show, I could see everyone bouncing up and down in time with the music, and it was a great sight, a real great sight to see something like that. It's a long time coming, and it just needed to be seen once more. About halfway into the set, McFly moved into the B stage. There was a nice bit of VT which led McFly onto the B stage. The first time I've ever seen something of its sort on the small B stage. He had a microphone just on the floor, and as soon as he got onto the stage, the microphone was raised up in the air. It had a vibrant red LED rope around it, which went all the way up to the grid. And when I say vibrant and LED, it wasn't like a cheap rope light. I mean, it was like a proper full-scale, top-level LED with solid colour. It looked like a lightsaber. Well, I say lightsaber, more like a lightsaber style whip. And as he's moving around, singing in this flown microphone, it's whipping around and having such a great effect. Visually, that was a masterpiece. It looked really awesome, and I can imagine that had I been a fan of McFly, it would have enhanced my perception of the show. If I was a fan of McFly, was the ticket price value for money? Yes, it was. Would I have paid the extra to get there early? No, I wouldn't. Would I have paid the extra money to get there early and be in the fun zone, in their golden circle? 500 people maximum in that special prioritised pit area, just so you could be closer to the band. Personally, I wouldn't do that. People would, that's fine. If you have the money to spend on doing something like that, why not? But I personally wouldn't be doing that. It's like an extra £100, I believe, but don't quote me on that. And in conclusion, the show was a massive, roaring success. Everyone enjoyed it. McFly enjoyed it, the crowd enjoyed it, the sponsors enjoyed it. You had people of all ages, and McFly at this point, their career has been 18 years long. So that's pretty much a long time for a band that's still writing songs and still performing live. You get a lot of bands that don't even last half of that, and they still hold the crowd, they still command the crowd, and they still draw a solid audience. As someone who's not particularly a fan of McFly, what would I rate this show? I'd give it a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 purely for the fact that if you were a fan, you would not be let down. Visually, masterpiece. The sound. Now here's the thing about the sound. There was a slight bit of feedback halfway through, but that was from the B stage microphone. Now with that would be really difficult to not get feedback on that microphone. It's a old school metal head, and you've got the line arrays from the main stage that are blasting out sound, which basically causes some of that feedback. Yes, there are ways to limit and even near enough eradicate feedback by using all the compressors and systems within the sound desk, by eliminating frequencies, many different ways, but notoriously difficult. But they did really well, especially with the challenge, especially with having the position of that microphone where if you look directly at the stage, both line arrays from stage left and stage right would just hit into that microphone. So that sound engineer, well done to him. He did pretty goddamn well given the circumstances, and with the Motorpoint Arena being a small arena, that just gives it that little bit more of a challenge. Whereas I would guarantee you in a big arena, in a much bigger arena than the Motorpoint Arena in Cardiff, you'd have the space to not be in the direct line of the line arrays. But hey, every venue's different, every venue's acoustics are different, and every venue's distance from the stage is different, as well as their capacities. But they did really well, and they should be real pleased about that show. It was a high quality show, definitely a top ender, definitely. If you've enjoyed today's podcast, please hit like, subscribe and share, and I shall catch you next time. Bye for now.